Hello and good evening from McQuinn Athletic Complex. I'm Bruce Overton along with Paul Bodwin. And tonight we have the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights taking on the Chanhassen Storm. And Paul, it's a December 15th type of weather night, but last time we were here at Benilde, it was 70 degrees and sunny. Temperatures change quite a bit for this game.
They sure do. What a difference 2 weeks makes. We've got snow plowed off the field. The field is clear. The groundskeeping crew has done a fantastic job, Bruce, getting this field ready for these guys to play. And it's cold, but I'm sure they're loving it, and they are ready to get out there and play hard against a tough Chanhassen team.
Yeah, now the first game we did was against Orono. That was a 31-7 loss for the Red Knights. They came back and beat De La Salle the following week. That was 41-0. So sort of redeeming themselves. De La Salle may be down a little bit, but Benilde played a great game, winning 41-0. And for Chanhassen, they've only played one game so far this season, and their schedule only calls for 5 games this year. Their first game, they beat Jefferson 49-28. So we've seen both teams put a lot of points on the board here in the last week or so. And I think we could see a pretty high-scoring contest.
Yeah, absolutely. George Wolf coming off a big game last week with 2 carries and 2 touchdowns. You got to like that average.
Benilde will be in the red uniforms, Chanhassen in the white. Our graphics are down tonight, so we'll try and keep you up to date on downs and yardage and time.
Back to receive for the Red Knights.
And right now there are 12 minutes left in the first quarter, just to be clear.
And the Red Knights will receive the kick to start here.
Kicking off for the Storm, number 5, Eli Mao.
Eli Mao will kick off.
And everybody looks ready to go here, Bruce. It's a chilly night, as we've said, and here we go. It's kickoff for Friday Night Lights, 3rd game for the Red Knights.
And we're in kick over the top of the intended return man. That was number 11 for Benilde, Jake Runman.
Yeah, and it looked like he was going to maybe go for that, but he wisely let it go into the end zone for a touchback.
So the starting lineup for the Red Knights will have Jake Leischow at quarterback. The running backs will be George Wolf, William Petty, wide receiver Charlie Hansen, Johnny Woodford, the tight end Antonio Fondren. The offensive line is Marinero, Gordon, Raymond, Turris, and Porish, and the tight end Antonio Fondren.
I'm looking for a big night here tonight from William Petty, who's averaging 104 yards a game.
And the give out to the 24-yard line is Petty.
Gain of about 4. It'll be second for the 24.
So a nice little gain, 4 yards. You like those kinds of runs, and you're looking at 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, somewhere in there.
For the Red Knights this season, Leischow, 15 of 26 passing, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And we have a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
This one probably against it's against the defense. It's an offsides.
That's right, and if I'm not mistaken, at this level, they blow the whistle dead on those defensive offsides rather than giving them the free play.
That's right, Paul. So now it makes it very manageable as it's going to be 2nd down and 2 yards to go here.
Yeah, and you love being in a 2nd and short situation. That just gives you all kinds of options. You got 2 downs to play with here. Let's see what the Red Knights can do.
Back to pass. Leischow has it tipped at the line.
Leischow with a pass attempt.
And I like that on 2nd and short, looking to pass. You're probably thinking run, but because it's only 2nd down and you've got all kinds of options, they went for a little pass and just good defensive play on a good block by number 52 there, who looks to be a quite sizable player.
Yeah, and that pass was intended for Johnny Woodford, and it looked like P.J. Velasquez had pretty good position. If you watch the defender on this play, just coming from behind. So, but I think Now the Red Knights with a 3rd down, very manageable. Rolling is Leishau. He throws, and it's tipped.
And that was almost picked off, Bruce.
Yeah, that was a number 23 again, Velasquez. We mentioned him just earlier, and made a great play there getting in the passing lane. And a little bit of pressure at the last second, but that was very close to an interception at the 32-yard line.
Yep, and unfortunately, Bruce, it looked like he had him, and he just threw it behind him enough to where it almost was picked off, but he could have had him, it looks like, if you look at this replay right here. If you just let him a little bit more, the ball might have gotten there. Oh, maybe not. I had my angles off. He was trying to thread a needle, and it didn't quite work, so it looks like Red Knights will punt.
High snap over the head of the punter into the end zone. Let's see if he can.
Gotta get rid of it.
He should just throw it at that point, but
that looks like a touchdown for Chanhassen.
Yeah, he fumbles it in the end zone, and it is a touchdown. There's a situation too where you could either just run it back out of the end zone, give up the 2 points too. You don't think about that when that's all happening.
There's a lot happening.
But yeah, that was Fratellone.
I think it would have been tough for him to get out. They had just a wall of Chanhassen players there. But it would have been good to try to square up and just loft that ball out of the end zone. But he had to think quick, didn't have a lot of time, and that's unfortunate. We've seen a lot of high snaps this season.
We have. In last game, Raymond got hurt. He was the center, and that sort of affected some of the snaps. I'm not sure if Raymond's in today or not. The coach did tell us it was the same starting lineup as they had 2 weeks ago, but we saw Raymond limping off the field that game. Not sure if he's in or not. We'll have to check on that.
So unfortunately for the Red Knights, it started out going well, 2nd and short, and a tough break here with Chanhassen looking to go up 7-0.
And the extra point is up, and
kick is up and good.
Good.
10:40 left to play. Red Knights down 7-0. Let's see if they can right this and not let this game get away from them too fast. Yeah, and looking back at that play with the high snap, there was just not a lot of options for the punter to get out of there. The pursuit on Chanhassen was so fast. And even if he threw it, it's just he didn't have the right angle. Who knows? It could have been picked off. He was in a tough spot.
Back for the Red Knights.
Fans looking on saying, well, we hope we can get over that one and get back on track here. Well, good thing is offense can get the ball back and make something happen. What was a little surprising to me was that they ran the first ball with Petty. They had a nice game. Then they got the penalty, so they were in a short yardage situation, and they passed the ball 2 times there. So we'll see if maybe they elect to try and just get that running game going a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bruce. With 2nd and short, I like kind of doing a pass and seeing what you can do, but then you're on 3rd and short. You've got Petty, who's a strong runner, and it's a safer play and maybe higher percentage in that situation to see if you can get you the first down.
Another high kick, fielded by the Red Knights at the 10. Out to the 25-yard line.
Kick fielded by number 22, Ferdine, out to the 25-yard line.
Ferdine on the return.
It's important for the Red Knights here to just kind of let that go and move on and just get back to your game, run the ball, do your rollouts, and just get a good offensive possession right here. Don't let that get you down too much. There's plenty of game left.
Exactly, Paul. We're a minute 30 into the game, so just shrug that off. You're down 7-0. I think we're gonna have a false start now on the offense, so they'll move it back 5 yards.
Illegal procedure on the
defense for the Chanhassen Storm. Defensive ends are Chris Ewing and Kenyatta Brannon. Defensive tackle Brandon Stolz. Linebackers Eli Mao, Ryan Mashka, Gabe Porthen, and Jack Homback. Left cornerback Cooper Hansen. Right cornerback PJ Velasquez. The safeties Cummins and Ketchum.
You would think you would want a guy named Ketchum on your offense.
There you go.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
He's playing tonight at, here we go. There's a nice run off the right tackle, staying on his feet, getting a second effort all the way down to the 29-yard line. So that's Petty.
Nice run by number 4.
Yeah, and that just might have to be their go-to tonight. Get him going. He's averaging 100 yards a game so far, only 2 games, but still. Get him the ball and see what he can do to control the clock, control time of possession, and wear down this Chanhassen defense.
He did a nice job cutting inside of Alex Karstens, number 17, and got the extra yardage that he needed. So it's going to bring up a second down. Spin move by Petty. He's brought down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and they swallowed him up pretty good there. So now we're looking at 3rd and long again, and we just hopefully the Red Knights can really get something going here.
Again, a little bit colder outside, so it becomes a little bit tougher throwing that football, and hopefully we'll see what the Red Knights can do here. It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go.
Yeah, those cold footballs can take some time throughout the game to get used to how that feels. It's slipperier, it's harder. And so to get a passing game going is going to take some work.
Woodford lines up to the near side as a wide out. Back to pass. Rolling to the far side is Leischow. He's got a little bit of time trying to get to the first down marker, but he's going to be short, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he quite got there, and I think that was Brannon on the pursuit on him, and he was so hot on his tail. It is hard as a quarterback to get a solid field of vision when you know you have a guy that big chasing you down that hard. And so he tried to sneak it himself, and it looks like he didn't quite make it.
Number 2.
But they actually gave him a yard loss, so it's hard to see where he went out of bounds on that far side. So 4th down, 7 yards to go, and another punt. Here's Fratellone, gets a good snap this time. High punt. It's going to bounce right at the 48. And takes a neutral bounce as it's down by Woodford at the 49-yard line. That one didn't go forward or backwards, just sort of stopped right on that ground.
That's the kind of bounce you want when you're kicking it to the goal line.
Right. You want that ball to turn over a little bit when you're that far back. So good field position for the Chanhassen Storm, who lead 7-0, and now they actually have their first offensive possession with the quarterback Riley Funk, running back Jason Collins, wide receivers Josh Kershoff, Charlie Coonan, and Josh Ock. The tight end is Brendan Radke.
Looks like we have a false start. So that'll back up Chanhassen.
Offensive line for the Storm is left tackle Isaac Shosted. Cole Holland is the left guard. Center Josh Clark. Zach Larson the right guard. And Caleb Scholl is the right tackle. Handoff. Number 4, Josh Kershoff, coming around from the wide receiver position.
Kershoff with the run.
Yeah, just a little design run there, trying to get something going. This is their first offensive possession. Got a couple yards, and they got some ground to make up with that false start penalty. So we're looking at 2nd and 10 now with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. And I'm sure the Red Knights would love to keep them to a 3-and-out right here and get that ball back as quickly as possible.
Riley Funk back to pass. Got time to throw. Throws downfield. That's a little too far for the intended receiver.
Intended for number 14.
It was intended for Charlie Coonan, who was the offensive player of the year for the Storm last season.
Yeah, I don't even quite know how open he was, but we did have a nice pass rush. He could have even just been looking to throw that away at that point. But a good-looking ball, and didn't realize there Riley Funk is a southpaw, so that could throw a wrinkle into anybody's defense.
For the Storm.
Jason Collins, a running back. 3rd down, 10 to go. Read option, back to pass. Looking crossfield, player open, and it's overthrown. Once again, intended for Coonan.
Yeah, Coonan was open on that one. He had him, and he just missed him, overthrew him, could have hit him right in the chest. But again, cold night, slippery ball. It looks like it even might have been tipped, but I'm guessing Funk will settle down as the game goes on. But either way, it's 4th down.
Well, Funk so far this season, 7 of 14, 105 yards, but 3 touchdowns passes.
Number 9, Ock to punt. Number 12, Leishau, and 19, Woodford back to receive.
Ock to punt. Good snap.
Nice kick.
Fair catch called for, but they're just going to let it bounce. And it's going to be scooped up at the 16-yard line. So good punt.
Yeah, very nice punt and
First and
wise
10 from the
decision on the
16-yard line for
returner
the
there
Knights.
to call for a fair catch, but then to just get out of the way. There was a lot of traffic in there, and the Red Knights have done what they need to do on defense. They've turned him over, forced him to punt on a 3-and-out, and here we go. Let's get it going. 8:30 left in the first quarter.
Charlie Hansen comes to the near side. That's Petty and
Number
good
4,
pursuit
Petty with the run
defensively.
attempt.
Yeah, that was Brandon in there again on the defense, just wrapping him up right away. I think he's going to be a tough one for the Red Knights to deal with tonight. And, you know, Bruce, we've seen this so much. We could be looking at another one of those games that's going to be all about field possession. So far, almost all the action has been on what would be our right side of the field. And we'll see if the Red Knights can change that.
Well, we mentioned Brandon's name a couple times, and he's got offers from Air Force, Army, and Mankato. So high snap again, Leishau, and he's able to fall on the football, but it's going to be deep in Red Knight territory, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and
High
long.
snap.
Third down and
Covered
long,
by
deep in
Leishau.
your own territory. A high snap, but a catchable one. But thankfully, he's able to land on it right in front of the goal line. So now they're deep in their own territory with the ball on about the 2 or 3 yard line.
It'll be roughly 3rd and
Well, and again,
22
we
from
talked
roughly
about the ball
2
being
to
sort of
3 yard line.
colder, slipperier, and that when you have a lot of these quarterbacks playing from that read option, more of the shotgun position, it's a little bit longer snap, and your center's going to have to make some better snaps here. So Nick Marinero is center for the Red Knights. And the Red Knights just select to run the football.
Yep, that looked like
Number 4, Petty with
I
the
didn't
run.
see who the give was to, but I think that's one of those situations where you've got 3rd and very long, you're deep in your own territory, and you're hoping to maybe just even get away from the goal line a little bit more so you're not kicking out of your own end zone. But the Chanhassen defense has been clogging up that line very well.
We're going to need a good snap here. Fratellone back in the back of the end zone.
Number 3, Fratellone back to kick.
Short kick, bounces at the 30 and is down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and he had a good snap, but he had to get rid of that, kick that quickly, and
Down at the 34-yard
not
line. It'll
not
be
a great
1st and
kick,
10 at the
but
34 for the
they got
start.
it out of the end zone, and it unfortunately just didn't take that Red Knight bounce. It was another one of those neutral bounces. If that had the right bounce, it could have gone another 10, 15 yards, but it looks like Chanhassen with really good field position once again.
Yeah, the Red Knights defense have been back to the wall. They've
Sideline warning on
and now they're going to have to come up with a big play here to keep the Red Knights in the game here early on. Still plenty of time. 6:12 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Storm lead.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left, and again, you just can't get 2 down. You're only down 1 touchdown. It's been a hard first quarter so far for the Red Knights, but you just got to maybe get a big defensive play, something to just boost some energy into this team and give them some confidence.
Or a 15-yard penalty.
That'll help too, yes. Well, I'm not sure what the penalty was.
There's on the far side of the field, that's Kirchhoff, and Kirchhoff with a nice
Kirchhoff
gain
with the run.
back to about the 42-yard line.
So we're looking at 2nd and what is that, a
Roughly
long
2nd and 2 from the 41
long
for the
3?
Storm.
About 3 yards to go. Yep.
Get that back there! Let's go!
Once again, Collins in the backfield out of the I formation. and the give. First down and more. That's Collins, breaks to the outside, gets inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. Nice run by Jason Collins, the senior running back.
Very nice run, and if we look here, it looked like he had some really good blocking, and he was patient and waited for it, and found the right spot to burst, broke a tackle, and he was off to the races. And luckily, that was I'm not sure who got the tackle. I didn't see the number, but
it was Sully Lawrence, number 23, I believe.
But a nice wrap-up tackle to not make matters worse.
Well, that's 22. Correction on that, Luke Ferdine. So
Luke Ferdine, yeah.
Once again, they line up out of the I formation, and there's a big hit.
He's still on his feet.
26,
What a nice tackle by Antonio Fondren, who came in quickly.
Yeah, he was back there right on the spot. Nice wrap-up tackle to stop him. Strong runner, hard to take down, but nice tackle for a loss. And it looks like we have a man down with 5:18 to go in the first quarter.
It'll be 2nd and 16 from the 21.
Take a look again at Fondren. And that was number 26, Tucker Pinkerton, the running back.
Yeah, that's just some brute strength on strength in that tackle.
You know, Pinkerton has carried the ball 13 times for 123 yards. Collins 14 for 168. So those two guys are the main running backs that we tend to see. We'll try and see if I can see who the injured player is here, Paul.
Yeah, Pinkerton had a nice game last week, 123 yards and 9 yards per carry. And it looks like this Chanhassen team it's going to be a hard team to stop on the ground. You get concerned when you see somebody laying on their back for that long.
Right, we didn't see anything happen on the play, but
it looks like they're working a leg.
I think they're looking at the upper part of his, and hopefully it's not like around the neck area.
Oh, yeah.
He was moving his arms, so that's a good sign. Upcoming game for the Red Knights will be Friday, October 30th at Jefferson. Then they play November 6th at Academy of Holy Angels. And their final home game is against Cooper, and that game will be on November 11th. Yeah, I think they're going to be very careful how they move him right here.
I think you're right. I thought I saw him working a leg, but yeah, you're right. It looks like they are looking up toward his neck and head, and that is always cause for great concern. And it just kind of casts an ominous hush over a football game and over a stadium when you see this.
Yeah, it's one thing as you hate to see from any standpoint any injuries, but this is always the kind that are very eerie for everyone when you see this happen. And as you mentioned, very quiet in the stadium, and we wish the best. And this is also as a parent watching your kid play, this is always their nightmare too as well.
Absolutely, it is. And unfortunately, Benilde St. Margaret is no stranger to severe neck and head injuries. As I'm forgetting his name, Jack Jablonski,
yep.
the hockey player. So they've seen this before, and it's just scary to see somebody laying there like that. Luckily, there is some movement, though.
Right.
We saw a leg move. We've seen some arms move. So
right,
and it may just being precautious here.
Exactly, a precautionary measure right now. And they're going to just do everything they can just to make sure that they don't that they keep him immobilized, so that nothing further can happen. So.
And I don't know if we're waiting for a cart or something like that, but because they don't seem to be doing much else.
Yeah, I do hear an ambulance. Yep. I think so. Paramedics, I think, are going to come. And yeah, so Paul, let's take a break right now, and we'll come back and hopefully have some updates for you as this game goes on.
Today, millions of people all across America are building a life in recovery from mental and substance use disorders, helping themselves and helping each other, with friends, family, and community, lending their strength and support. Join the Voices for Recovery. Together, we are stronger. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders, for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Bruce Omer along with Paul Bodwin as we still have an injured player on the field, and they're going to take all precautions. The injured player is Pinkerton, the running back who ran on the play. And we'll take a look again and see if we can maybe see how that injury happened. It's Tucker Pinkerton, the senior. Watch number 26. See, he goes down here and then gets up again and then sort of.
Yeah, he got a shoulder pad into the face there, Bruce, that may have just done something with his neck. The good news is we've seen movement in his arms and legs, and they just seem to be holding his neck steady. And I'm hopeful that they're just taking as many precautions as they need to, and that this isn't as serious as it looks. And we're evidently waiting for a cart or an ambulance or something. We're not sure, but like I said, the good news is we saw an arm move and a leg move. The bad news is they do seem to be trying to hold that neck stable.
Right. So Pinkerton will hopefully get the medical attention he needs, and we hope for him and his family that everything turns out okay. We're going to go over some of the stats leading into this game for Chanhassen coming into this game. Again, they were only played one game, and that was against Bloomington Jefferson. Funk was 7 for 14, 105 yards, 3 touchdowns. Running backs in that game, they had a good running game. They ran for around 300 yards, and that again was Pinkerton and Collins. Collins ran for 14 times for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pinkerton 13 for 123. Then Grandstaff 4 for 12 with a touchdown. Receiving, Coonan 3 catches for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been sort of the go-to receiver that we've seen early on. A couple pass attempts his way. Kirchhoff 3 for 33, and Radke 1 for 10 with a touchdown. For the Red Knights coming into this game, they lost, as we mentioned, 31-7 to Orono, but then beat De La Salle 41-0. Their quarterback Leischow, 15 of 26, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We have rushing Petty, 22 rushes, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. For Dean, 6 for 87, 1 touchdown. Harrow, 8 for 25 yards, and Leischow, 16 for 22. Receiving Wolf, 2 for 34. Hansen, 2 for 39. Fondren, 4 for 36. And Woodford, 4 for 43. As looks like the paramedics are making their way.
Yeah, but I still don't see any kind of cart or ambulance. But I wonder if they have the something to stabilize his neck.
Typically, they would bring a backboard onto the field, so we'll see if I think they're just first trying to find out what happened, so they first can figure out what they need to do here. Defensively for Benilde, Wolf leads the team with 12 tackles. Seaver has 11, Marinero with 9, and Ferdine with 8. upcoming games for Chanhassen. Their next opponent is October 30th against Chaska at home, and Friday, November 15th against Waconia, and then they're at St. Louis Park on November 11th.
Yeah, and Pinkerton, you know, as I said, averaged 9 yards per carry last week, and Collins 12 yards per carry last week. So they just mowed up that field with their running game. And now we are, of course, with just great concern for Pinkerton's health.
Yeah, so if you just joined us, has not been a good start for the Red Knights, as they had a punt snapped over the snap was punted, or the snap went over the punter's head and into the end zone, and Fratellone couldn't scoop it up, and it was recovered by Chanhassen. Here comes the backboard onto the field, but and so Chanhassen took a 7-0 lead, and that's where we sort of stand. It's we've seen so far early on the momentum has been with Chanhassen, and we'll see what this injury does to their team, because it's always tough to see how you respond after something like this happens. We saw, you know, when the Vikings game, just even an injury to Cook, when one of their key players went out, it seemed like for about 5 to 7 minutes they were sort of in a little bit of a lull, and we saw the effect that had on the Minnesota Vikings at that time. So see what happens. Sometimes teams rally around a player like that and say, let's go win this one for our player. And
yeah, and Pinkerton being a senior with an already just kind of messed up senior year, you know, I'm sure that he is weighing heavily on all of the Chanhassen players' hearts and the Red Knight players' hearts as well. And of course, both teams want to get back out there and play this game and play their best and get a win for their team. But I think everybody would agree that their deepest concern will be for Pinkerton's health. But looks like in just a few moments he will be able to get the care and attention that he will need. We'll keep you updated if we can. Now it's going to be up to these two teams to get warm and continue to play the football game.
And again, you know, we should mention in high school football, anytime there's an injury similar to this, they're going to take every precaution. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's as serious as it is. Right. And so again, we hope that this is more precautionary than the extent of the injury.
And they are dealing with him very gingerly,
which
is
really
the right thing to do.
Yeah, and they are not even putting him on the backboard at this point. So I think we'll see if we may see the ambulance come out on the field.
Yeah. Or he may be feeling better. Who knows? Both teams are convening up. Chanhassen down on the 10-yard line, and the Red Knights over here at about the 35, and trying to get their game plan in place, trying to make sure the players, you know, understand what's happening, kind of name what's happening on the field, probably to just sort of say that out loud, and then get them ready to get back playing.
Let's we're going to take another break here, and hopefully when we come back, we'll be able to see this game resume here shortly. So our score 7-0 in favor of Chanhassen. We'll be back with more football here in just a few minutes.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
So we are back, and again, the injured player was number 26, Tucker Pinkerton, who's been stretchered off the field. If we have any updates before the end of the game, we will relay that to you, and we are ready to resume. It's going to be second down 16. We have 5 minutes, 17 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Hand off to Collins, off left tackle. Collins to the 15-yard line. So Jason Collins may get a big workload now. They were splitting carries between Collins and Pinkerton.
Number 7 Burns in on the
And I'm sure he is happy and inspired to take that load, and we'll see what they can do. I'm sure everybody is playing distracted football right now, as we've got Tucker Pinkerton in our thoughts and prayers, and we're off here again with 3rd and 11.
It'll be 3rd and 11 from the 16.
So from the 16-yard line, the give is to the wide receiver cutting across. That's Coonan.
Number 14 Coonan.
And a nice little scamper run for Coonan for a touchdown.
Yeah, so Coonan with a nice run around end. It was hard to see if he had stayed in bounds, but he does get the touchdown. I would take a look at this again. Is Coonan comes around, gets good blocks. Look
Great
at
blocking.
and he did a great job to cut to the outside and was able to tiptoe his way into the end zone for a touchdown. And it's now 13-0 and an extra point attempt coming up.
Yeah, he had some excellent blocking there, Bruce. 2 guys just mowing down the field for him, and then he made, as you said, that right move to the outside rather than inside, and is able to just scamper in untouched.
It was 3rd down and long, so a nice conversion for Chanhassen, and the extra point by McDougal is up and good.
Makes the score the Chanhassen Storm 14, BSM Red Knights 0.
So Coonan has been scoring from the receiving position, not from the running position, but this time he comes around and is able to get the touchdown.
Well, you know, Bruce, it looks to me like Chanhassen just has a big, strong offensive line. And they just like to push the ball down the field on the ground, whether it's little gives to receivers or running it up the gut to big running backs. That their line just seems to have such a nice push that they can just have a lot of success on the ground no matter who they give it to.
So we're still early on here. There's 4:23 left to go in the first quarter, and now it's really up to the Red Knights to make this a football game, because they really struggled both offensively and defensively. Now their defense has really had their back to the wall. They really haven't had the opportunity, as well as the offense hasn't been able to sustain any drives and get any good field position. So,
yeah, the Red Knights have had at least one, maybe a couple 3-and-outs or punts, forcing them to punt, which is good considering the field position that Chanhassen has had this whole game. And they go with an onside kick, or did he?
Onside kick.
Yeah, they try an onside kick, and it's fielded by the Red Knights nicely by number 3. That's Fratellone.
And that's a boost for the Red Knights. Now they have some good field position, and you can start playing that field position game the other way here, but they've got to get their offense going, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm not sure that time of Chanhassen thinking, okay, maybe we can catch the Red Knights offhand. We feel right now like our defense can hold them here, but look how quick the Red Knights are set up. Chanhassen's still running onto the field, so Red Knights ready to go here, and Petty gets the football. Petty gets around in 50, 45. Petty hits the outside, down the sideline and out at the 26-yard line.
He had some real nice blocking there and good field vision to figure out where to go. Nice little burst of speed down the sideline. I actually would have liked to have seen him, Bruce, just really take off. He tried to do some deking out there, which is fine, but he might have been able to get more if he had just burst down the field.
So they mark it at the 27-yard line. Leishaw quickly gets the team back to the huddle. Now it's Petty again, and he is brought down. Nice defensive play that time by number 55 for Chanhassen.
That's a big
lift. That was Gabe Porthen.
Big lift for the Red Knights here, though, on that run with Petty. And I'm kind of surprised they went to him again. You'd think he'd be a little winded after a run like that. And they're doing kind of a semi-hurry-up offense, it seems, here. Maybe trying to keep Chanhassen on their heels.
So the Red Knights with the ball now, second down, 12 yards to go. Petty in the backfield.
3:35 left.
Hansen to the near side, throwing long down the right side. That's Woodford, and he's got it. Touchdown.
Beautiful throw. That's one of those that just drops right over the defender and into the receiver's hands. Beautiful throw and beautiful catch on the part of who do we have there?
Woodford.
Woodford, that's right.
Yeah.
Woodford having to kind of turn around, get his hands up, jump up, and catch the ball.
Watch this great pass, and you can see the defender on the play, but Woodford goes over the top, comes down on his back, stays inbounds for the touchdown. It looked like may have been Collins defending on the play.
Yeah, and Woodford on that play was kind of trying to get some separation, but all he needed to do was keep running because
Fratalone's kick is good.
Leischau's pass was actually exactly where you wanted it to be. If you look at this again, Woodford had to jump up a little higher than he maybe needed to. The way that ball was dropped in, he could have just kept running, although it was a little behind him. But either way, just a beautiful pass and a beautiful catch, and the Red Knights have the lift that they need, down 14-7 with 3:27 left in the first quarter. This game has been, we've seen a lot.
Well, we have already, and we had a big delay, of probably 25-minute delay for the injury, and after that injury, we've seen 2 scores within about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of time.
Yeah, I think both teams are, ready to go. And although sometimes in those situations, the hardest thing to do can be to defend, to get your head back into that game, to have the energy to play some defense. We'll see if this settles down a little bit, but we've got ourselves a fun ball game here. And again, just thoughts and prayers with Pinkerton and his friends and family with him going out with an injury tonight. That field position really paid off for the Red Knights. They don't have to be worried about being backed up with their backs against the walls. They could loosen up, and nice offensive possession that they really needed.
So Ock and Kunin are back to receive the kick. Fratalone, ball placed at the 40-yard line. Will kick off for the Red Knights. They trail 14-7. This goes on the far side. That's Kunin. Kunin breaks the tackle across the 40, 45, stays on his feet, gets to midfield. What a return by Kunin. You can see how explosive he really is. He was the offensive player of the year last year for this team, and you can see that he is an explosive player.
He is. He's explosive and strong. He had some good blocking, but he's just really hard to take down. I think I saw him throw one of the Red Knights defenders down to the ground. It's just a hard runner to get down to the ground, and an excellent return for Chanhassen.
Great field position now for the Storm. Riley Funk back to pass. Funk looks downfield. He's got a player breaking open. He's got it down to the 10-yard line. He fumbles the football, but they're going to call him down. That again is Charlie Kunin.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's hard to see. Let's take a look at this and see if he had possession or not.
Well, again, you don't have to be touched once your knee hits the ground. So let's see here. He pulls it in. Oh, he's got the football. And did the ground cause it?
It definitely looked like he had possession, and and it looked like the ground caused the fumble there. So
fans did not like that.
No, they did not. Fans are not happy with this call, but
still 3 minutes.
Right
3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and now the Storm on the doorstep of the Red Knights. Handoff. Inside the 5-yard line. That's Collins again. Take a look. He really had a nice hole. That the right side of that offensive line just really parted things for him, and then the Red Knights closed on the back end. So
parted the Red Sea, you could say.
That's right.
And those are those plays that sometimes don't look like much, but they really are huge. It's just getting that 5 yards, and now you're at 2nd and 5.
Paul, I just got it, the Red Sea. Okay. And now Collins runs it into for the touchdown. And
just like that, we've seen 3 touchdowns in the matter of about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of play.
That's a 5-yard run by Collins. His first touchdown of the game. And that'll bring on McDougal for the extra point.
43, McDougal to attempt the extra point.
Left-footed kicker is up, and it's good.
Kick is up and good. Makes the score
And it's 21-7 Chanhassen with 2:15 left in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, we had a long delay with an unfortunate injury, so that's why we're still only in the first quarter here. And both teams coming out of the break from the injury with some fiery offense.
Yeah, the Red Knights defense just letting them down a little bit here, and partially just some great offense run by Chanhassen. And we can see how explosive Coonan is as of an offensive player. And he set things up with the pass down the middle of the field, and that was a nice throw too by Riley Funk on that. So
yeah, Coonan also set things up with a great kick return as well. I mean, he brought that thing out to the 50-yard line, and he's really just carrying the team on his back right now. But Funk also with some really nice passing. Timing is there, beautiful spirals. So Chanhassen is going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight.
I think Coonan was the one trying to defend the touchdown catch too by Woodford. So he's
been
all
right.
over.
You may be right. I may be crazy.
This one rolls out of bounds. So we'll get a flag on the play, and are they saying it was touched? No.
It did look like he touched it.
No, they'll bring it out to the 35. So.
Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35.
So good field position again for the Red Knights. Still 2:16 to go in the first quarter. 28 points scored so far here in the first. 21-7 our score. 2:16 to go. First down 10 for the Red Knights. Petty in the backfield. And the give is to Petty. Good defense.
Yeah, and he's hung up there by Chris Ewing, number 52, a senior who just a big kid and great tackling mechanics to hold him up and keep the Red Knights from any kind of gain.
Well, they're saying temperature by the time this game's over could get down around 20 degrees. Oh, you're pulling the blanket out now.
I am. My feet are cold, Bruce.
Mine just started getting a little bit colder, too. It feels like the temperature just dropped 10 degrees here in the press box.
It sure does.
Back to pass. Leischow throws over the middle. Wolf.
Pass attempt intended for Wolf. Incomplete.
A little too high for George Wolf.
Yeah, he had him. He was open, and it just kind of got away from him. Tough catch to make.
Yeah, sort of found a spot in, I don't know if it's man-to-man or zone there, but he found a nice spot there right around midfield and just overthrown.
So we're looking at 3rd and 12 with 1:30 left in the first quarter.
We are seeing that Leishaw's getting some time to throw the football, so that we'll see if they go back up in the air here with 3rd down, 12 to go. Hanson Woodford on the far side. Back to pass Leischow. He's got time to throw. He keeps rolling, looking, and throws it out of bounds.
Pass attempt. Incomplete.
Yeah, he's rolled out. He's looking downfield, and just really good coverage on the part of Chanhassen. Nobody was really open, and it looks like he just threw that one away with nothing else to do with it, and the Red Knights will have to punt.
And again, the first punt of the game, we saw the high snap. So it's always an opportunity here. You got to first get the good snap and then see if Fratellone can get a good punt off here. It is a good snap. Caught. Not a fair catch. And that was number 4, Josh Kershoff.
Yeah, good hands on the part of Kershoff to get that in and not call a fair catch when he could have been hit pretty hard there, but was able to hang on to the ball, and Chanhassen will take over with good field position again.
Yeah, 1:17 seems like a lot of time before the end of the quarter. Chanhassen seems to have scored in quick bunches. They haven't, their time of possession hasn't taken much to get their 21 points, and one was a special teams touchdown too. So
Yeah, that's good point, Bruce. And the good part about that for the Red Knights is maybe your defense hasn't been on the field a whole lot and still have some energy.
Inside handoff.
And that was a give to Collins. Nice strong run.
Yeah, so Collins gets it out to about the 48-yard line.
Just under a minute to play in the first quarter.
Both teams' quarterbacks go over to the sidelines to get the plays and run back onto the field. Josh Ock lines up on the near side. Back to pass under pressure, just getting rid of it in double coverage, and it's intercepted by the Red Knights. Out to the 45-yard line.
It looked like Runman.
Yep, number 11.
Intercepted the ball with a lot of concentration on a bobbled throw. And those things happen from that pass rush you just mentioned. Funk was under pressure, had to get rid of it. And a big break for the Red Knights as Runman with a big interception here toward the end of the first quarter. Just 18 seconds left in the quarter.
So they spotted at the 43-yard line. 18 seconds left here in the quarter. Hansen will line up on the near side, Woodford on the far side. Petty in the backfield. And the give to Petty. And Petty gets about a yard, and then he's taken down right away.
Yep, taken down right away again by that big defensive line of Chanhassen, who just always seems to be there plugging up lanes and making it hard for Petty to get a lot going. He's been running strong, but hard to get a lot going, and we're at the end of the first quarter.
A nice tackle by Alex Karstens, outside linebacker, also a backup quarterback on the offensive side of the ball. Well, we're through first quarter finally here. 21-7 our score. Chanhassen leads. We'll be back with more football in just a minute.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
First quarter with 28 points scored. 7 of those for the Red Knights as they look to get back in this football game, trailing by 14. The give to Petty, and he is going to be taken down at the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down and maybe about 7 yards to go.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to put it at 3rd and 8, Bruce, and another 3rd and long situation for the Red Knights. And they've been trying to really get a run game going with Petty. So far, it's not working. They're going to have to start getting something going by throwing the ball. And it may be one of those situations where you gotta pass to run rather than get the run going in order to pass.
And we saw George Wolf open on the previous possession in the middle of the field. So you got to try and get the ball to their wide receivers. Woodford lines up here on the near side. Back to pass, Kirchhoff trying to buy some time as he rolls to the near side. And now he lets it go, and it's incomplete. That was Woodford, who down on the ground at the 50-yard line. He's looking at the official saying, "Are you sure I didn't get this one?"
Yeah, either way, he's going to be short of the first down. But If he does catch it, it's a 4th and short. You might go for it there.
45 for the Red Knights.
But nevertheless, it's going to be 4th and 8. And
So another punt for the Red Knights. I think this is their 4th punt of the football game.
Before Kershaw back to receive for the Storm.
It's a high punt. Fair catch was signaled, but not caught, and down at the 26-yard line.
yeah, it took a nice little Red Knight bounce finally. They kept getting those neutral bounces. This one finally rolled about another 10, 12 yards after it landed, which is always nice. So the Chanhassen Storm will take over at about the 31-yard line. And we'll see if the Red Knights can stop them and get back into this. They're only down 2 touchdowns, 10:55 to play in the first half.
Once again, Collins will be in the backfield. Riley Funk, he hands off. Big hole for Collins
Funk
across the
number
35 down to the 36-yard line.
Run.
Yep, another big run for Collins. Not as big as some others, but
16 receivers on the tackle
getting
for Red Knights.
picking up 8, 9 yards there. And for me, Bruce, one of the stories of this game so far is just Chanhassen is owning the line on both sides of the ball. They're able to run at will, and the Red Knights have just had a hard time getting any kind of running game going. And that's going to have to change if the Red Knights want to get back in and take a lead in this ball game.
Trips out there, and they're going to hand off to the wide receiver Kershaw coming across. And the Red Knights did a good job that time. No room for Kershaw to
Tackled by number
run.
21, Fundred.
Yep, very nice play for the Red Knights. They're going to need to do more of that and stop Chanhassen and see if they can get the ball back without letting them score. Looking at 2nd and 9 with 10 minutes left in the half.
This may be the worst field position that Chanhassen has had so far in this game.
I think you're right.
Now they run trips to the far side. Pressure coming in on the quarterback. They run a dump off to Collins, and he goes down at the 32. Great pursuit.
Great pursuit, great play on the part of the Red Knights to stop them, and Collins just can't really get anything other than where he caught the ball.
Yeah, watch number 3, Charlie Fratellone, and Fratellone just does an outstanding job.
Yeah, and with Collins being so big and strong, he does a great job of just sort of hanging on to him, saying, hey, guys, can I get some help here getting this guy down? But he does it, and a strong play by number 3 there to keep him from getting any more yards.
So now the Red Knights need to have an answer for Kunin, who's on the near side as a wideout. 3rd down, 14 yards to go. Back to pass. They're looking Kunin's way. Throws to Kunin, coming back for the football at the 50-yard line, and incomplete, little short.
Yep, well short. Really had no chance to get back to that one. Looks like it may have been tipped.
Yeah, it sort of almost looked like they're trying to be like one of those back shoulder throws, and I think you're right. That ball seemed to lose a little bit on that. So punting situation.
So this is a great set of downs here for the Red Knights on defense to hold him, and they should get some relatively good field position here.
Fair catch called for at the 45-yard line. Woodford.
And you know, the Red Knights are down 21-7 with 8:44 left to go in the first half. And it feels like Chanhassen has really dominated most of the game, but yet the Red Knights are only down 2 touchdowns with the ball. Plenty of game ahead of them. They're really hanging in well here in what feels like an overmatched game, but they're hanging in there.
Well, I don't know if the ball is carrying much on these punts, because we're seeing like about 20-yard punts
Right.
or 25-yard punts on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, we're about playing in between the 30s.
Hand off Petty, changes field position, going to the outside. Petty breaks it. He couldn't go. Cuts back.
Wow.
26-yard line. But I thought Petty had kept going. Maybe he was running out of real estate there, but all of a sudden he cut back and then was stopped. So.
Yeah, let's take a look. He cut back, and I think the defender had the right angle on him, and he thought maybe I can scoot around him. But nevertheless, a fantastic run on the part of Petty to change directions. And
you're right, that was a good defensive play there by number 55, Gabe Pothin.
And I think the Red Knights really have something going here.
Penalty flag
Oh,
goes.
no.
Illegal block in the back on the Red Knights.
We're going to get an illegal block in the back. So
Yeah, you know, and that can happen on plays like that where things kind of get broken up, and now everybody's improvising, and that's often where you'll see an illegal block to the back.
Make it 1st and 13.
Because look, he sees these guys, nothing going there, and has to change direction, and did
I don't
great.
know.
But
Yeah,
I didn't see the block, though.
I didn't either.
And that's a really bad break for the Red Knights. Who,
And it took away a great run by Petty.
yeah,
Rolling, throwing.
he's got
Player's
him.
open. He's got it. And that's Charlie Hansen. And Hansen does a great job. He towed the sideline, but then cut it back inside, got another like 7 or 8 yards, and inside the 35-yard line, first down for the Red Knights.
Looked to me like he might have stepped out when he went back, but they're going to spot it there. You're right. And what a great response on the part of the Red Knights after the devastating penalty taking away the big Petty run, and now they're right back here.
Quickly, the Red Knights huddle up. Hand off for Dean.
Leishau hand off to Ferdine. Ferdine with the run.
So Ferdine with carry and only about a yard on that play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 with about 8 minutes left in the half. And the Red Knights are now deep in the Storm territory. You can say they're deep in the Storm, and they really want to get some points on the board on this drive.
21-7 our score. Our graphic generator is down tonight, so we'll try and keep you up to date on time left and also what our score is. Back to pass. Thrown to the far side. It's complete.
Leishau with the pass attempt to
Woodford.
Tackle made by number 23.
Not a lot on the play, but they'll move it to a more manageable 3rd down here. It's going to be about 3rd and 6 yards to go.
Yep, 3rd and 6. You really want to get this first down, keep this drive going.
Yeah, Paul, and right now I think for the Red Knights, they're in 4-down territory, so you don't have to, you take a chance, you can run the football here, you can throw a short one, see what happens, see what they elect to go with. Petty in the backfield. Back to pass. Thrown in, incomplete. Woodford, and
Ooh, he'd like to have that one back.
yeah, again, that was thrown nicely over the defender. Only Woodford had the opportunity to catch that one, and let's take a look again. Had his hands there and just threw the fingertips. So
Couldn't quite bring it in, and I will say those are harder than they look when everything's moving.
yeah,
But,
Leischau's getting a little time to throw the football. He made a nice throw there. That was about as good of a throw as you can make to Woodford, and I think Woodford will catch that ball 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. So they're going for it on 4th and 6, 6:45 left in the second half.
You know, single coverage on the near side for Woodford. I think they may elect to go back to Woodford, and he's going to throw his way again, and that one was just thrown too high. The defender doing a good job on the play was number 34, and that was Mitch Becker.
Yeah, well defended, and the ball was also a little too high. Just a difficult one for Woodford to rake in. But with the way this Red Knight defense has been playing, you hope you can stop them and get right back at it again.
Yeah, turnover and downs, but they've also, the field position's moving a little bit back each time now for Chanhassen. We've seen early on in the first, most of the first quarter, Chanhassen had the ball deep in Red Knight territory. Now they've got it more in their own territory. So
Yep.
the Red Knights can stop, they can get the ball back. And quick opener for Collins, and a nice gain as he gets out to the 38-yard line.
Tackle made by number 21.
Yeah, and that's a play we're seeing a lot of today with good blocking, strong running, difficult to stop.
Antonio Fondren in on the tackle for the Red Knights. 2nd down, a yard to go.
Maybe 2nd the Storm.
6 minutes, 14 seconds left to go here in the first half. So we're an hour and 15 minutes in, and there's still 6 minutes to go. And part of that was the injury stoppage that we had.
It's a great defense on the part of the Red Knights to get into the backfield and stop the run, and get a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, what a great play by Patty Burns.
We get third and about 3 for the Storm.
So 3rd and 3, 5.5 to play in the first half. And the Red Knights would love a stop right here, Bruce.
Well, the Red Knights, and I think they're going to call encroachment on the Red Knights. They got back, but once you cross the line, play stops, and 5-yard penalty and a first down.
A little bit of a delayed call there, though, and well done by Funk to just kind of look over at the ref and be like, "Hey!" And then the flag went up. So, but it did look like he broke that line.
Yeah, watch Funk just back up after he saw that.
Right there at the left side of your screen.
He walks away, and then the flag came up. He's like, "I'm not taking this football." That's Kirchhoff.
Yeah, so Funk came in with kind of the hard count there and pulled him off sides, and then that's the first down. So they got that new set of downs, and it'll be 2nd and 10 now with about 5 minutes left. And they've been going away from Collins a little bit here. I wonder if he's getting gassed a little bit.
Second, roughly 6.
Yeah, so 4 yards on that play will bring up a 2nd down, 6 yards to go. It's going to be Collins in the backfield, Funk, and the give to Collins. I like the way Collins just sort of, he takes his time. You can see he doesn't just quickly take the hole. He looks for the blockers. He navigates his way, and watch how he slows down. He's looking for this opening, just keeps his feet churning, and is able to get the first down for.
Yeah, Bruce, I was just going to say that you could really see there's some good footwork, just making sure he's never on his heels and his feet are just continue to move, and that just keeps driving him forward.
But just short of the first down, so it's 3rd down, less than a yard to go.
See if he does that hard count again.
And the quarterback keeper this time is Funk, and you can see the line with a lot of help from that offensive line just pushing their way and getting all the way out down to the 45-yard line. So the quarterback sneak gets them about 3 yards on that.
Yeah, that's a play where you're hoping to just get that 1 yard and the quarterback goes down and it's first down. But the push that Storm offensive line has there allowed him to get a couple more, and it's just it's an impressive sight watching that offensive line work.
We haven't seen many sustained drives in this game, so it's usually there's been a big play here, a big play there. They've been able to get the quick touchdowns. This right now, Chanhassen trying to eat some time off the clock, see if they can go up by 3 scores. They give to Collins. Collins still
spinning and moving and chugging, and
does a great job there. He's sort of like that workhorse. He's just gonna.
Yeah, that's a good point about those long drives, Bruce. I mean, they've moved the ball about 30 yards here and chewed off about 3 minutes maybe. I can't remember what the time was when they started this possession, but they haven't even gone that far, but have chewed up a lot of clock. And that's the first time we've really seen that kind of a drive in this game.
And we give to Collins, good defensive play.
Tackle made by number 1, Wolf.
Wolf. Also Fratellone in on the tackle.
And that's what the Red Knights have to remember here, is that while they have such a strong running game and a strong line, they have been making plays in the backfield, so they know they can do it. They just have to keep at it and see if they can get this ball back. It's 3rd and 7.
Brings up 3rd and 7 from the 43 for the Storm.
And the Storm have come up with some big 3rd down plays. Red Knights need a stop here. Out of the eye, they're going to give it to the running back, Collins. He's not going to get the first down.
Nope, he's only going to pick up a couple, and that's just some great defense on the part of the Red Knights. I don't know if you could tell there, but you had about 2 to 3 guys who just squared up on Collins, making sure he is not going to break this one wide open, and took him down. And looks like the Storm will have to punt.
Yeah, and they'll try and pin the Red Knights back deep in their own territory with under 2 minutes to go. But again, we've seen some tough snaps here. So
yeah, we've seen some tough snaps. We also know that the Red Knights can make some big plays. So 2 minutes, is tough, but they could definitely go down and score.
Well, the Storm are going to let as much time go off the clock before they punt this football. They may even just call a timeout.
81 back to receive for the Knights. It'll be Fialo in line.
And they're going to run the clock down as much as they can, call the timeout, and
Timeout, Chanhassen.
so the clock stops at 1:29.
4th and 5 to go, and down 2 touchdowns.
I think the Red Knights have all their timeouts.
I think so. I was trying to think of the same thing. We don't have those numbers displayed for us that I can see, and I can't recall a Red Knight timeout yet this game. I was sort of surprised they didn't take one there. I thought they might take the timeout right away so that the Storm couldn't just chew up all that clock.
So with the ball on the 41-yard line, Eli Mao will punt the football.
Now back to punt for the Storm. 4th and 5.
Woodford and Fialo back. Bad snap. That's blocked. The Red Knights get the block, and they are going to recover the football at the 35-yard line.
And what a huge play for the Red Knights. Just like I think you called it, Bruce. You said we've seen some bad snaps. They get the rough snap. It has way too much time to get a good punt off. It's blocked, and the Red Knights will take over with 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the Storm about 30, 35-yard line.
And Ryan Schaefer getting the block for the Red Knights. So
That block by Schaefer from 35.
Well, the Red Knights, the last time we were here, had a very exciting finish to the first
they
half.
sure did.
We'll see if they can do it again.
So plenty of time, 1 minute, 21 seconds to go. Red Knights trail by 14 points. They have the football on the turnover. Back to pass, throwing long down the far side, and just over the outstretched arms of Tyler Zachman.
I like that call, Bruce, to just let's go for it right here, right now. Let's throw it down the field. Just put a little too much on it.
You're getting that one-on-one coverage down on the backside there, so you see single coverage. Zachman had a step, and the pass just overthrown.
That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 35.
Those throws have to be so precise that, I mean, it's tough to do throwing that long and that precise, but almost there. But
we may see the same type of play to Woodford's direction. Well, they're going to run the football, and Petty
Number 4, Petty with the run.
tackled at the 33-yard line.
I like the call, Bruce, because things seem to be opened up and maybe Petty could get a bunch of yards, but unfortunately the Storm were on it. Now you're looking at 3rd and 10 with 1 minute to play.
3rd and 10.
You know, Jackson quickly gets the team up to the line. Back to pass. Leischau's got time, throws short, complete at the 30-yard line down to the 29. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Pass to number 6.
Yep, and I would think this would be a scenario where
Timeout, Red Knights.
they may go for it. I'm not sure why they took a timeout here. Maybe they just want to get it right, but I thought maybe they would drain out the clock and then go for it on 4th down, and the first half would be effectively over.
Well, Paul, I think, needing only 5 yards for that first down, maybe they just try and get the 5 yards, and then they still have about 30 seconds left on the clock with 2 timeouts to work their way in. So not necessarily go for it all here. Just get that first down that you need, and then you still have enough time on the clock for a couple throws into the end zone.
And that does look like what they're doing, and so we'll see if they can pull it off. And I think if they have one more timeout, Bruce, or do they have 2?
Hard to say because we don't really have track of that, but I think that was their first timeout. Trips to the far side. Back to pass under pressure. Leisha has to get rid of it, and it's going to be incomplete.
And Leisha just got drilled on that play. He did everything he could to get that ball off. Not much he could do with that kind of pass rush.
He knew he had trips to the far side, so he just said with that rush, he just like threw it up and was hoping that maybe Hansen could get over there, but no opportunity.
But he was wise to get rid of the ball, because what you don't want to do in that scenario is take the sack.
Turnover on downs for the
So now with 41 seconds to go, this is going to be a
41 seconds.
situation where we'll have to see what Chanhassen does here. Do they try and run the football, not take any chances? They've got a 2-touchdown lead, or are they going to put it up in the air? Let's see.
Me in detail
I think
forgetting it was
they're
fourth
taking
down.
a knee. I think they're taking a knee. They're in.
Yeah. And that's the smart thing to do if you're Chanhassen, that deep in your own territory with just a few, handful of 30 seconds left. That previous play, that was me forgetting what down it was again, being worried about taking a sack. Wouldn't have mattered on a turnover on downs. Don't at me.
Let's see if I think Chanhassen can just let the clock go here.
Yep.
It's a situation too. It's cold night out here. You got one of your star players hurt, and they just want to keep this night moving on. They've got a lead and get to halftime, and
that'll take us to the half with the score Chanhassen Storm 21.
so we saw a lot of scoring in the first quarter, and then it sort of mellowed out a little bit there in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the case, especially after a long delay like that. The defense gets cold. Weird things can happen, and then games do tend to settle down a little bit, and that's what we saw in the second quarter here. So
right, 28 points in the first quarter, 0 in the second. So, all in all, I think it was a tough start for the Red Knights. They saw the block or the punt, the bad snap on the punt, and a quick touchdown for the Storm, and then the Storm went up 14-0, and then they sort of things settled down, and then both teams played fairly evenly after that. So the Red Knights still in this football game, and hopefully they can make some adjustments at halftime, come out and a little fired up, and see if they can get back in this football game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. They really did start to play a lot better. And it's been a much more balanced football game, so we'll see what the second half holds for us. And again, we just are holding Pinkerton in our thoughts and prayers, and hope he's all right.
All right, so we're gonna try and sip on some hot chocolate here at halftime, and we'll be back with the second half in just a little bit.
New message.
Department of the Social Security Administration. The reason of this call is to inform you that your Social Security number has been suspended for suspicion of illegal activity. If you do not contact us immediately, your account will be deactivated. For more information about this case file, press 1 or call immediately our department number, 326.
This is a scam. Thieves are misusing the Social Security Administration's authority and phone schemes to trick you into giving them money or personal information. They state there is a problem with your Social Security number or account. They claim there's been suspicious or fraudulent activity, and you could be arrested or face other legal action. They even spoof SSA's main customer service telephone number on caller ID. Don't believe them. Don't provide any information. SSA employees will never threaten you for information or promise benefits in exchange for information. In those cases, the call is fraudulent. Just hang up. If you suspect you've been contacted by an SSA scammer, call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.
Bruce Holman along with Paul Baudouin. We want to thank everyone for joining us here for the second half of the Red Knights game against the Chanhassen Storm. As we mentioned, 21-7, all scoring in the first quarter of the game.
Yeah, Bruce, we're looking at a 21-7 lead, like you said, for Chanhassen. The Red Knights had a shot toward the end of the half and just couldn't make it happen. So here we go. We got a whole new half in front of us. Only down 2 touchdowns. It could be anybody's game. But the Red Knights are going to have to get the ball moving with some consistency.
If you just joined us, there was a 25-minute delay as Pinkerton was taken on a stretcher with a neck injury, and again, we are have not heard anything. We wish the best, and if we have any updates before the end of the game, we will update everyone. So, Fratellone, that's a good long kick.
Fielded by number 10, Collins.
That's Collins who took it over the shoulder. Collins gets out across 35 and finally taken down by the Red Knights. But nice return, and Collins is slow to get up.
Oh, no. And that was a nice tackle by Ferdine there. That was maybe the last man before a big burst could have opened up for Collins, but he does look hurt. His fist's kind of pounding the ground, you can see there. So this is cause for concern.
And they're looking at his right leg. Paul, I don't know if we get a chance to do a replay again. Here we are. You see Collins over the shoulder is able to start back upfield. He had a nice run. He put the ball in the left arm. Coming up. And just watching his leg here.
He does appear to have some kind of brace on that leg, if I'm catching the right one.
Yeah, nothing stood out on that, but
he may have a previous injury that he could have aggravated. But he does look to be in some pain with a hand on the face. And
so second running back for the Storm to get injured. Yeah, and Collins has been a big part of this offense, and as well as defense. He's made some great plays on defense. You can see him on special teams, so definitely a player that they cannot afford to lose.
Yep, all three facets of the game he has been playing extremely well, and we already have had one Storm player go down, which we were just talking about, and right out of the gate here. In the second half, we got another player down. And it just casts a shadow onto the game to see this. And he's real slow to get up. And I'm not sure. It looks to be something serious enough that he may not be back in the game. We'll have to see.
So another delay. Tonight's game has sort of been the story. And again, it's not saying that in a way, it's good to see him starting to get up here. But our crew, our camera people, we're cold here in the press box. We got our camera people up top of the press box, and you look at the people in the stands too, and there's a lot of ice on, throughout the stands.
Looks like they're going to get him some help getting off the field. Yeah, they don't shovel and clear the roof where the crew has to go. So kudos to our crew up there on a cold night and a cold roof. So
and these metal bleachers too. You look at these people. I mean, it's you see ice all over the place, and it looks just so cold to be sitting outside on those bleachers.
I'm just happy to be snug in this little booth.
Well, this is a tough injury again. Now Collins, their second running back, is going to. Looks like he will probably be out the rest of this game, is unable to put any pressure on that right leg.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate to see, that he's not putting any weight on that leg. Says that there's something really not right there. And as you can see, it looks like there's some kind of brace or something already on that ankle. And he's having a hard time getting off the field. And you just feel for these Chanhassen players and coaches right now. That's a lot to carry in one night.
Paul, we get a chance to see us up in the press box. We're dressed pretty warm for this. And take a look at this again. Collins right now planting that leg, and see right here as
he could have tweaked it right
Woodford there. May have gone down on him a little bit. May have come down on the ankle with his knee. It always happens on the far side of the field too.
Yeah.
Where they have to get them all the way across the field.
Right.
Back onto their bench. And what's so hard too on this too is it's so cold out there. And I just got to, sit out. And
Yeah, and you do wonder if if the cold even factors in with some of these injuries, with just a harder field, a slipperier field, you just feel more brittle.
So the third string running back.
Number 38 with the run, Grandstaff.
Brady Grandstaff, a junior in there to fill in the gap.
Number 7, Burns.
So just 11:30 remaining in the third quarter, barely underway here in the second quarter with another unfortunate injury delay.
Once again, fans, as we come back to the stands for this half, please be careful. They are getting slippery. Take your time and be careful, please.
A lot of announcements for the fans in the stands to be careful as they walk. There's Grandstaff taken down by Wolf. Wolf's made some great plays as he does a great job getting into the backfield quickly. Watch how he just penetrates in there and
grabs that ankle and does not let go.
They go 3rd and 7 from the 39 for the
So it's 3rd and short. Now it's 3rd down, 7 yards to go. 10:51 in the third quarter. 21-7 in favor of the Chanhassen Storm. The Red Knights could use a stop here. The ball at the 39-yard line. Riley Funk gets the play, and
the Storm operating obviously with a depleted backfield.
Watch for Coonan over on the far side of the field. He's looking that way, throwing Coonan's direction.
And he had him. He's wide open, but the throw is just off target. And so that'll bring up a long 4th down, and we'll get the punting crew on there and a chance for the Red Knights to cut this to a one-touchdown ball game.
You see Funk had a second to throw the ball, and then at the last second, the defender came in pretty quick. That was intended for Josh Ock, number 9, and the pass just with the pressure was a little short. So Fiala and Woodford back, and we're going to get a penalty flag.
Looks like something before the
procedure.
Snap.
Yep.
Illegal procedure against Chanhassen.
So they'll move it back 5 yards.
Be a loss of 5 yards.
And the Red Knights will take all the field position they can get. So a little break for the Red Knights. Moving it from a 4th and 7 to 4th and 12.
And we've seen some tough snaps, so we'll see what happens here. It's been an adventure on these punts.
It sure has.
Number 19, Woodford.
Fialo and Woodford back. They stand at around their 40-yard line. Eli Mao, the punter. Good snap. That's a nice kick. Fair catch called by Woodford. And it's going to be out at the 45-yard line.
And that was a risky catch there for him to go for that with it right on the sideline, and he's running. And he did kind of muff it a little bit, but luckily it went right out of bounds. But that could have been disastrous, Bruce, if that had stayed in bounds. And that was when he might have wanted to let go.
1st and 10 for the 47 for the Red Knights.
I think you're right on that, Paul. You just got to let that one go at that point. But Woodford not wanting to give them get as good field position as the Red Knights could get. And they do have great field position out there, 47-yard line. Side handoff. That's Ferdine. And Ferdine gets it out to midfield. Only one long run by the Red Knights, and that was called back. That was Petty with the.
Yeah, he had that nice misdirection, kind of rattled things up, and there was an illegal block to the back. But it's a nice three-yard run right there by Ferdine, and it brings him to 2nd and 7. And let's get it going here, Red Knights. It's 9:30 left in the third quarter. And he fumbled it. And it looks like Chanhassen has it.
Boy, that was the worst pep speech I've ever heard.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with the speech. It just wasn't well received, Bruce, and that's an unfortunate break. It looked like a bobbled little toss in the backfield went wrong. Maybe some miscommunication there, and Chanhassen will take over, and that's a huge break for the Storm and a really unfortunate situation for the Red Knights who are looking to get something going.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle right now when you're down by 2 touchdowns, and you just need to have things go your way, and that was cannot afford the turnovers, and now it's going to put the pressure back on the defense to make a stop here, get the ball back.
Yep, and it gives the Storm great field position, and defense is, like you said, going to really have to step up here.
Back to pass. They throw on the far side. It's complete. Ock spins inside to the 35-yard line.
And that looked like almost a similar play to the one to Ock before that was off target. He was pretty wide open. There didn't seem to be anybody there, and a nice, easy play for the Storm to make.
I like that play call. You think that when you get the ball back, they're just going to start running again, and instead they pass to Ock, and now Ock lines up on the near side. Handoff. Grandstaff, and he gets a nice gain inside the 25-yard line.
Number 14 Baldwin for the Red Knights.
You know, it's been unfortunate for the Storm to lose their 2 running backs tonight. Very unfortunate situations, but as we've said, this Storm offensive line is so good that it's like no matter who they hand that ball off to, they tend to get positive yards, and Grandstaff is filling in very nicely here. It's a deep team.
Yeah, we see they have a pretty big roster, so some reserves to fill in. Rolling to the near side. Thrown downfield. Player was open off the outstretched finger of number 81.
Brannon.
That's your
Incomplete.
That's your guy, right, Brannon?
Yeah.
Kenyatta Brannon, the senior.
Who's had some really nice defensive plays, and that one was just out of reach and could have been picked off if he didn't get a hand on it. So 2nd and 10 with 8:45 to go in the third quarter.
Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. The Storm looking to try and go up by 3 scores here. Red Knights looking for a stop. Grandstaff off right tackle. Gets close to the 20-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Somewhere in the 5 to 6 yard range to go.
That looked like he picked up another 4 yards, and that's all it takes to grind out a game is 3 to 4 yards on those run plays, and you can grind this thing out and really wear down a defense.
And now when you get into this 21-yard, 22-yard line territory, you're probably looking at 4 down territory.
Yeah, depending on how good your kicker is.
Back to pass. Funk throws complete.
Funk with the pass to
And that's a very similar play to the one that we saw to Ock earlier, and I couldn't quite catch the number here.
Yeah, that's number 4,
That's
Kirchhoff.
Kirchhoff, yeah, and it looks like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the Red Knights maybe in a little bit of a soft zone defense that the Storm are just kind of getting right under here. They're having these receivers are wide open, and we've got another man down, Bruce.
Yeah, Kirchhoff, the reception did something, maybe twisted an ankle, but he was upset. You could see him. Well, now he's getting up and walking off, so that's good to see. He slammed his hand down on the turf, and I thought that was going to indicate that maybe it was something more severe, but he looks to be walking pretty good over to the sideline. So,
yeah, and sometimes, a little twist can initially feel like something very severe. And, oh, yeah, you see the Red Knight defender there kind of landed on his ankle. But he looks like he's doing just fine. And I suspect he'll be back in this game.
1st and 10 from the 12 for the Storm.
a big play for the Storm is they have now 1st down, 10 from the 11-yard line. Hand off, Grandstaff.
Funk handoff to Grandstaff for the run.
He's out to the 5-yard line.
And if you're the Storm, this is what you want to do on offense right now, is just get out there, make your 3 to 5, 7-yard plays at a time, grind out the clock, grind out the defense, and punch one in to go up 3 scores. So it's a difficult situation for the Red Knights here. Plenty of game left, but they have to turn this tide.
We saw in the Waconia game that Benilde struggled in the second half, and it was all Waconia in the second half, and trying to see if they can make something happen here in the second half defensively, but right now it's going to be tough. It's
Grandstaff getting it down to about, what is that, the 1 yard line?
looks like around the 2 yard line.
And so this is one of those situations where the where the Knights have 2 lines to protect here. They can get a first down by just getting 1 more yard, and then you've got the end zone as well. So it's a really favorable position for the Storm.
And it looks like Grandstaff is going to be right around the goal line. They're going to say he's just short.
Gain of about 1 yard. Would be second and goal.
Very close to getting that ball over to the goal line. So. Second down.
So the way they had those pins set up, to me it looked like there was a first down marker at the 1 yard line, but it looks like we're at second and goal.
And quarterback keeper, touchdown.
Yeah, and with that,
be Riley Funk.
With that Storm offensive line push, those quarterback keepers, you can get 1 yard almost at will, and so that was the right call there. And the Storm go up 27-7. The way their kicker's been kicking, I imagine it'll be 28-7 in just a minute here. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. That's a nice long drive. Even though it was only about a 50-yard drive, they ate up a lot of clock on that drive.
Well,
I jinxed him.
You want to call anything else, Paul, in this game?
My pep talks aren't working, but the prophecy is in check. So it's 27-7. I'm just going to stop making any kind of predictions whatsoever.
You'll never hear me say that it's been a penalty-free game, because last time I did that, there were about 15 penalties following that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Well, so now the Red Knights trail 27-7, and it's going to be really important on this next series to see if they can make something happen. They're not out of this football game yet. They just got to see if they can get a big play. They had that happen in the first quarter where they were able to, after trailing 14-0, they made it 14-7. But after that, it's still been pretty much all Chanhassen.
Yeah, and they had the unfortunate turnover in that last series with a fumble right around the 50-yard line, and Chanhassen took advantage of it. And the defense has really played well this game. They've been kind of doing their part. The offense really has to get going now.
Kudos to Chanhassen too. They've had a couple big injuries to 2 of their key, running backs, and they're still able to take their third-string running back, get down the field, and get that touchdown. So they're going to squib it, and the Red Knights, Brady Wine will fall on it.
So Benilde takes over at about the 25-yard line. 5:50 left to go in the third quarter. Plenty of time.
And we've seen a lot of throws to the outside. We've seen some one-on-one coverage. We've seen them throw the ball long, just miss very close throws. What I'd like to see them do is some passes over the middle. Try and get Wolf or Hansen, maybe over the middle. But they're going to run on the first play, and Petty.
Trying to get Petty going, but that Storm defense has just been swallowing him up, and he's had a couple of good runs, but it's been tough to get that run game going.
Right, so now Leischow is going to be put into a passing situation. Second down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, and like you said, there has been a lot of throws to the outside. We'll see if they try to mix it up going down the middle. But either way, they're going to have to. That passing game is going to be essential at this point for the Red Knights to get back into this ball game, especially just because of how difficult it has been to get the running game going, and the fact that they're down 3 scores.
So Woodford and Hansen on the far side. Back to pass. Thrown long for Hansen. And is it intercepted?
Nope, that's an incomplete pass. The ball's bouncing on the out of bounds there and just underthrown. Leishaw just didn't quite get enough on it, and it was almost picked off.
Yeah, so he just put that one high in the air, and you see it was deflected out of bounds.
And the Hansen was open there. It just didn't quite get the ball there. So it's 3rd and 8, 4:49 to go in the third quarter.
Big play right here for the Red Knights. Leishaw throws over the head of Woodford.
Yeah, he had him there, and again, just a missed target throw. He had some pressure coming in, but some good blocking that picked it up. But that can sometimes get you just firing away a little stronger than you need to when you see that pass rush coming in.
Frattallone's been busy in this game. He's going to have another opportunity here, and Storm are going to have really good field position.
Back to kick.
The Storm look like they're going for the block because they have no one back.
Wow, that takes a nice night bounce.
Yeah, good job to turn that ball over in the direction heading towards the Storm goal line, and it's going to be down at the 28-yard line. Really surprised on that because, I mean, they had an opportunity probably to be 20 yards further upfield had they had returnmen back.
Yeah, you're right. It's an interesting spot to go for a block when you're up 3 scores. And really what you want to do is just grind out the ball on offense and get in the end zone again if you can. There's no reason to score quickly.
The only thing I can think of, because they looked like they had a bunch of people more towards the middle of the field too, that they didn't send an all-out block attempt. They may have really thought that Benilde could have had a fake going there and just really protected against any fakes.
That's a good point, Bruce. That very well could have been what was going on. Either way, they're in control of the game, and so they're probably not worried about exactly where they're getting the ball on the field.
And again, Chanhassen, not afraid to throw the football in this situation with the lead, and Ock, the recipient of that catch, as he gets out to the 36-yard line. 2nd down, couple yards to go. This Chanhassen offense has really impressed me in this game.
Yeah. And as I've said, my belief is that it's all starting at that offensive line. They have just been stellar.
High snap. And
see what I mean?
Red
That's what I do.
Right.
I say things, and then they get a pass rush coming in. But that was probably more due to a high snap and
Funk did a good job.
Yeah,
it was a high snap, but he's still able to catch the football. And as Fondren was coming in, making the tackle,
and that just throws the whole timing of the play off when those things happen. It enabled Fondren to get in there and make the tackle.
So now the Red Knights need a stop here. It's 3rd down, 7 yards to go. The ball placed at the 31-yard line. Still 3 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the third quarter. 27-7 the score in favor of the Storm. Riley Funk, the quarterback. We haven't seen Coonan with any catches here recently. It's been mostly to Ock. Let's see, we're going to get a timeout.
Timeout, Chanhassen.
For Chanhassen.
So something there they didn't like, and I think Chanhassen is in a situation where they really want this first down. They want to grind this clock down. They want to wear this Knight defense down, and so they want to make sure they get this play right.
Well, the Red Knights have a real winnable game. Their next one as they face Jefferson at Bloomington, and then they travel on to the Academy of Holy Angels. That'll be a tough one always a tough game when those two teams face off, and that's on November 6th. And then November 11th, Cooper at home. And when we're sitting here at 20-degree temperatures right now, you're wondering, what is it going to be 3 weeks from now? But they're saying that there may be a little bit warmer trend coming in November. We may see 40s. So maybe hopefully this is the coldest night that we have for announcing.
Well, one could hope
that the players have playing too.
The way my predictions have going, I'm just going to say it's going to be frigid the next time we're back here.
Well, there was Kunin.
There goes Kunin, just like you said. You were wondering when they were going to call his number again, and they did. And nice pickup for.
They're going to call it incomplete.
Oh, they did call it incomplete.
Funk intended for Kunin, pass incomplete.
Let's take a look again, and
Oh, wow.
that was a good defensive play.
Yeah, that was almost, you could argue, a fumble, but he didn't quite have possession, I don't think. He didn't make that proverbial football move once establishing possession, so it's incomplete. Good punch out there.
Yeah, what a great play by Parker Skelton, number 20.
Gets him the ball back with good field position. 2:53 to go in the third quarter.
Fiala with the fair catch. Fiala. Well, I mean, they have good field position. They just got to sustain a drive here.
Yep. Yeah, they have not even really been able to get many first downs, and so they got to get their offense going. The defense has been really doing about everything they can to keep them in this game, and so yeah, the offense, I'm sure, and they know it. They want to get the ball going more than anybody.
Well, Woodford is not in the game right now, so leads me to believe they could be running the football here. Nice run by Petty. Gets into Storm territory at the 49-yard line, and we have another injured player.
And that looks like Will Peschel. Did I get that right? Number 5? Not sure if I'm saying his name. Nope, that's the. I'm looking at the
Eli Mao.
I'm looking at the wrong roster.
Yeah, yeah. It's
not having a good night, Bruce.
It's really cold up here.
Is.
It's hard to see through the windows a little bit too.
I'm a summer guy. I apologize for getting those names wrong. I want to get kids' names right.
Just stretching out his ankle a little bit here.
Yeah.
Leg. I'm not sure if that could be a cramp. Sometimes that.
Yeah, especially when it gets cold, they can really cramp up easy. And they've been having to, there's been a lot of delays in this game as well, and that doesn't help either. Once you get warm and you're moving, things are good, but you get warm, you have a delay, you get cold. You get warm, you have a delay, you get cold, and that can lead to cramps real quick. Seems to be all right, though.
So 2 minutes, 39 seconds left here in the third quarter, and we're 2 hours and 19 minutes old.
Yeah, it's been a long one, but that's okay. They needed to take that time. With the Pinkerton injury, they had to deal with that one very, very carefully. So
yes.
We'll take the delay.
Handoff. There's a first down for Dean. And the fans have something to cheer about.
Yes, they're moving the sticks. That's what you want. First down, and they need to keep it moving.
And I just have to make sure Paul doesn't say anything that turns it in the wrong direction.
I know, I'm afraid to say anything now.
So first down 10 from the 43-yard line. Handoff Petty. No gain.
Nothing there. That's that Storm defense plugging up holes again. Petty trying to get it going. He's such a strong runner. I like the way he just pushes and pushes, but he's having a hard time breaking through that Storm defense tonight.
The Red Knights trying to get something going, even if it's on the ground. They trail by 3 scores here, so the clock keeps moving.
Yep, minute and a half to go in the third.
And the pitch for Dean. And again, just hard to run on this Storm defense. They do a great job.
They really do. They plug things up. They tackle well. They're just always there. Heads are on a swivel, and that looked like a play that could have broken for a big gain, but Storm defense just plugs it up.
They got some really good linebackers.
Minute left to go in the third quarter.
Back to pass. Thrown
Got him.
complete. Fondren, the tight end.
That's exactly what we wanted to do there. Get the passing game going. Fondren right up the middle like you had talked about, and we've got a first down, and we have a Knight player down now with what looks to be an arm injury of some kind. And his arms across his chest, can't quite see his number.
Is that 54?
Looks like Turson, Ethan Turson.
Let's see here.
Looked like 54 to me as well. Turson.
Yep, you got it.
Ethan Turson.
I just grabbed the binoculars to look, and I think my eyes are frozen now.
It looks like might be the shoulder. Working his elbow, but it looks like there's, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if we can get a look at it and maybe see what happened, but great play for the Knights, and we hope Turson's okay.
He's on the right side of the line here. You see he pulls right here, and
yeah, something happened on that block, and he was hurt right there. He's up on his feet.
Well, the nice thing about having an arm injury, you can walk off on your own.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. It's really hard to tell what happened there, but they're going to take a look at him on the sidelines, and we'll see.
Hopefully just maybe a little stinger or something, and he'll be back in. They're going to run the football again. That's for Dean.
That's for Dean again, and again, it's just one of those where I thought he was going to break it, but the tackling is just excellent. The angles are there, and they just kind of swarm in on you, and it's tough to get any big gains, but he got a couple. We're looking at 2nd and 8 with 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, so I imagine this will probably get run out, but we'll see if they take a snap before the end of the quarter.
That was a great tackle by Mitch Becker, number 34. Still 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3. They're going to run a play. They do a quick handoff and no gain.
So we're looking at 3rd and long heading into the 4th quarter.
Petty is the ball carrier. And so we are through 3 quarters here, 27-7. So only one score in the second half so far, and that being a 1-yard run by the quarterback and Funk. And now we are at 27-7. We'll be back with the 4th quarter in just a minute.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter, a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
27-7 our score, 12 minutes remaining here. That's our 4th quarter, which is coming up now. Red Knights with the ball at the 25-yard line, trailing 27-7, looking to get back in this football game if they can with a quick score here in the 4th quarter. And a bad exchange, and it's going to be Red Knights football still, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and long.
Yep, so that's another fumble there for the Knights, and luckily they were able to recover it, but looked like he dropped it, and that's the kind of stuff that can just get you into trouble when you keep doing that.
Yeah, and that was Daniel Porsche who was able to recover the fumble.
So it's 4th and 8, definitely in 4-down territory at this point.
4th and 8 on the 27 for the Red Knights.
Big play for the Red Knights here.
Leishau. He's got time. Throws to the far side and out of bounds.
Yeah, looked like he was out of bounds.
That's Woodford.
And let's take a look at it. Looks one way, looks the other. Gets rid of the ball when he needed to, and he no, just couldn't get the feet in, and so it's turnover on downs. And the Storm now, kind of deep, about the 20-yard line in their own territory. 11 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. And at this point, I think we could say
Well, that was close.
It was close.
I'd like to, if we could see that again, he really may have dragged that toe.
Which would be an unfortunate break for the Knights.
Grandstaff, and we're going to have a penalty on the play here, but nice run by Grandstaff as he just keeps churning his way out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to come back. Yeah.
That's often what happens when you get a flag on a play like that late into the play. You usually have a hold.
Take a look at this play again. Let's see Woodford.
He only needs 1 foot in, right?
It's right. It just depends. Yeah, it was so close.
Yeah, it was hard to tell when the foot came up as compared to with when he caught the ball.
Right, with possession.
And in real time, it's even more difficult to make those plays.
Here's a little bit of a different angle.
Yeah.
And let's see here. It just depends if that foot is on the line or not.
He dragged the foot, but he might have been dragged over the line when he caught it.
It looks like he is in. I mean,
it's hard to tell.
It's really close.
It's close, and those are ones that's really unfortunate on a 4th down for the Knights. But when you're the ref calling that live, that's even harder to call.
Right, and again, no replays.
Right.
There's a good defensive play by the Red Knights.
And again, the Red Knight defense doing what they need to do. Stuffing up the Storm here, who are also probably playing a bit conservatively. They don't want to throw a pick six or anything like that in a situation like this. But the defense of the Red Knights doing what they need to do to try to get the ball back into the hands of their offense. 10 minutes to play in the game.
Yeah, we've seen Funk throwing these short passes. Watch for Ock or Kunin here. But they hand off, and there's a great tackle. Wow. Wolf again. We've seen so many great plays by Wolf.
Yeah, he's had a nice night.
Again, George doesn't have a lot of size, but he gets down low, takes out the ankles, and what a great tackle.
Yeah, and you can see Grandstaff there frustrated, just like, God, how did I not break that one?
I love watching Wolf play the way he gets in there.
Yep.
So he's in. Love to see him get more involved in the passing game. We saw one ball thrown his way.
So 3rd and 18, 9 minutes and 15 seconds to play. 3rd and 19.
And a timeout for Chanhassen.
That's their 2nd timeout of the half.
So that's their 2nd timeout here of the half.
Yep, and I think Chanhassen again is on these 3rd down plays. They're just really wanting to get it right. They want to hang on to the ball and grind this clock out and get out and go home with a victory.
Well,
so they want to make these plays.
Well, and again, it's 3rd down 19. You don't want anything bad to happen, but you are deep in your own territory, and the punting has always been a little bit adventurous because of the snap. So, so they're going to say, okay, do we play conservative, or do we take a chance and throw it downfield and not have to punt the football if we don't have to? So,
yep, yeah, and what they don't want to do that deep is get nothing, and so you want to, it's a good timeout to just make sure we all know what we're trying to do here and we get it executed, and hopefully still the Red Knights can stop them and get the ball back with some decent field position. 9:11 to play.
3rd and 19.
It'll be 3rd and 19 from the 17 for the Storm.
So they need to get to about the 36-yard line. And the Red Knights will force a punt.
Yeah, and I think, Bruce, that's probably a situation where the Storm did not want to throw the ball up because of an interception, potentially a pick six, and really just said, let's do this end around and see how many yards we can get. Maybe we can get a first down, but even if we can only get 10, that just makes the punt that much easier.
Yeah, so Riley Funk was the ball carrier, kept it that time, and Fialo did a good job on the tackle.
Woodford and Fialo back to receive the punt.
Woodford and Fialo will go back to receive this punt.
Sure would be nice to see them run this one back. See if I can get any calls right tonight.
Mao is a punter, and he was hurt a little bit earlier.
Fair catch.
Taken at the 47.
So they're getting into the do or die situation here for the Knights. We can start saying, oh, this is a really big play. At this point, every play is probably a really big play for the Red Knights, trying to see if they can do anything to get back in this, and maybe by, I'll say right now, a miracle squeak out a victory. But either way, they've got to get it going right now with 8 minutes left to play.
Yeah, they have not scored in the second half at home yet this year, so they could really use something big to happen here. And Leishau throws downfield for Woodford, and he had a chance for it that time.
He had him, and that's just really good defense on the Storm. And that was looked like number 32.
Yeah, Kurt Schaefer.
Kurt Schaefer with the perfectly timed hit. I mean, that ball is so hard to hang on to when you're getting hit right as you're catching it. And so the good throw, and Woodford was there ready to catch it, but just a great defensive play.
Again, you see Leishau throws back across his body, and it was a great throw.
Great throw, and I just can't emphasize the timing on the hit.
They're going to run Petty. Petty with a good head of steam as he gets out to the 46. Going to be shy by about 3 yards, maybe 4.
Yeah, but a nice run from Petty. That's what he's been, working on getting all game, and hasn't given up and just keeps chugging. Finally gets a nice run up the middle.
Well, he got a good block that time. He was able to get a little bit of a head of steam and got a nice gain out of that one.
So 3rd and 3 with 7.5 to play.
And they're going to give the same play to Petty. And Petty breaks the tackle as a first down for the Red Knights at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, great vision on the part of Petty there to kind of cut back inside and find the hole and get the first down and get this team moving and motivated.
About 7 minutes and 15 seconds to play.
If you watch here, he just kind of does this little cutback move right there. He sees who was that, number 63. He's got a block and was able to utilize that block to cut back inside and get the first down.
Back to pass, Leishau. He's going to let it go downfield towards the corner. Coming back for the football and unable to catch is Charlie Hansen.
Yep, just a little bit off target. Looked to me like Hansen could have maybe been called for some offensive pass interference. Saw a little push off. Let's see. No,
No, but he just couldn't stop quick enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the ground's hard. You just don't get your feet dug in and be able to get back to that ball. And he had an opportunity, but just not able to get back to the football.
But I like the call going with those deep balls on first down.
Here's a give to Petty.
Dancing around in the backfield a little bit and managed to pick up a couple of yards.
Make it 3rd and 10 from the 40.
Thought he picked up a couple of yards.
Got a player hopping off the field for Chanhassen.
Maybe he didn't. So 3rd and 10, 6:20 to play. 4 down territory.
Leishau under pressure.
Nice move.
Eludes one defender. Now he throws downfield and This one is caught.
Nice. What a play by Leischow to avoid getting sacked, cut underneath to avoid.
George
then he's
Wolf.
on the run, throws, and who was that?
George Wolf.
And it was George Wolf with a great catch. Look at him just move out of the way.
Wolf for the first down.
Makes a nice running throw. Just a bullet right on target. And there's George Wolf with that play that you were waiting to happen.
That's right. Like, give him another chance, and he'll catch it. And what a great job to catch it, stay in bounds. And it was a good throw.
Yeah. That's a great play. Let's punch one in here, Knights. 6 minutes to go.
High snap, the give to Petty, and he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Great play by number 6 of Chanhassen. That's Jack Hombeck.
Yeah, and that was the guy that Leischow, I think, just beat. And so he probably wanted to get in there and make a play. And he did.
Second and 14 from the 29.
Yeah, Hombeck, outside linebacker, number 6, and senior. A lot of seniors on this defense. It's 10 out of the 11 starters were seniors. Back to pass, Leischow. He's going to let it go for the corner. He's got Woodford open, and that pass just took a little long to get there because Woodford had the defenders beat, but then the pass just held up. Woodford had 2 defenders on him and was unable to get that football.
Yeah, and he almost had it, but those defenders were just able to get in there and you know, knock the ball around. And
right.
Well, it looks like maybe they hit his shoulder pad. But yeah, you're right, Bruce. The ball just kind of hung up there a little too long. So it's 3rd and 14. There's a flag on the play.
Right. And I think this is going to be marked off against the Red Knights. Holding
against the Red Knights.
So that play would have been nullified.
After, yeah, here I thought this somebody's arm got in there, but it actually hit him right in the face mask. The ball just went right through his hands and hit him in the face mask, which that's too bad he wasn't able to pull that one in, but it would have been taken back anyways. So still 2nd down now.
Right, 2nd down, 14 yards to go.
Actually 30 with the penalty.
Oh, yep. Now they put it on the scoreboard.
2nd and 31 with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the game, so it's a long 2nd down. But it seems like the Red Knights are punching for the end zone anyways.
4 wideouts, and I think we're going to get a 3rd time out of the game, of the half for the Storm.
And they must have seen something there they didn't like to be taking a timeout on 2nd and 31.
Well, the Red Knights went with 4 wideouts that time, and I'm not sure that they had enough defenders to cover the 4 wideouts, and so taking the timeout there. They've used their last one now with 5:11 to go.
And Bruce, just even for the sake of morale, the Red Knights would really like to get in the end zone here. They haven't scored since the 1st quarter, and am I correct?
You are correct.
It's been a long night. And so they want to get in the end zone and feel like they've got something going. But again, kudos to the Red Knight defense for keeping this as close. I mean, it's not close, but it could have been a lot worse with the struggles the offense has had to get anything going.
That's right,
the
Paul.
Defense has done pretty well.
You're right, Paul. And their defense had their back to the wall. Storm had great field position many times, and the Red Knights came up with some good defensive stops. So,
and that's what keeps you in the game.
Leischow throws it for Hansen. Is that Hansen?
I think so.
Yep.
Yep, that was Hansen.
Hard to see across the field. Actually, if I just watch our cameras here, they do a great job. I'm probably much better than my eyesight.
So we're looking at 3rd and a bunch. 4 down territory, 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to play.
3rd and about 28 from the 43.
Yeah, 3rd down and 28 yards to go.
They don't need to get it all right here. And we got some discussion with the referees. sure what they're.
Maybe just making sure they have the right time on the clock, the right down. I'm not sure.
You know, Leishow sometimes from the back with that number 12 and the red jerseys kind of looks like Tom Brady in a classic Patriots uniform. And I'm wondering if maybe they're just trying to make sure the balls are inflated correctly. Sorry.
I had to get that one in there, didn't you?
I did.
3rd and 28 with 5 minutes remaining from the 44.
Leisha steps up. Now trying to direct traffic. We have a penalty flag. It's going to go against the Red Knights if it is complete. Should be a hold in the backfield, I believe.
Yeah, and as we've said, that's often what you when you see a flag at that point in the play, it's usually a hold, as the line is doing everything they can to protect the ball carrier, whoever it may be, and that's the last thing the Knights need, is to back this thing up even more.
Well, this could be declined. It would bring up a 4th down, but yeah, they are going to decline it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not that much difference between 4th and 28 and 3rd and 38, so you may as well go with 4th down. So they got a lot to make up here, Bruce. This is kind of
well, this is almost like Hail Mary territory. You just got to take one long shot downfield and hope one of your guys can catch it. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to throw it down towards the corner and out of bounds, intended for Woodford, but no chance, and turnover on downs.
So 4:45 left to play, and you can expect the Storm to come out here and just kind of pound the ball and keep it safe and chew up clock, and we'll see if and when the Knights start using some timeouts, hoping to get the ball back.
Well, and the fans are starting to do the exodus.
Yes. Well, we did see the parting of the Red Sea, and so that's the exodus is what follows. Sorry, this is what happens when you got a clergyman in the booth.
Pastor Paul. Grandstaff, the running back. He gets the football and breaks a tackle.
Can he turn it?
Out to the 40, 35, and is taken down at the 35-yard line, brought down by number 81, Brady Wine.
Nice run by Grandstaff. You can see at first here he's got two hands on the ball just trying to protect it, but then I think he sees something and he's like, you know what, I want my big run too, and just and goes for it and gets a nice run, turns that corner.
Colin Nelson, the head coach of Chanhassen, they've done a good job preparing their team for this game, and
sure have.
Had a couple big injuries and still able to maintain their 20-point lead.
Grandstaff with the run.
Grandstaff
picks up a couple just going up the middle, chewing up clock.
Right, just wanting to hold on to the football, make sure they don't turn it over.
2nd and 8 from the 33 for the Storm.
Clock down to 4:20 now. And comes into play. They're just really taking their time, aren't they, Bruce?
They are. They like to get on the bus.
Yep.
Head back to Chanhassen. Riley Funk has done a great job.
He
and
drops
now he
it.
fumbles the football. Here we go. He's done it. I was just going to say he's done a great job protecting the football. And
then he drops it.
He did protect it there.
Oh.
When it was on the ground, he was able to protect it as he went down on top of the ball.
Hey, you know, Bruce, you said they just want to get on that bus and head home, and they have had a good night. They've had a great night. They're up 27-7 with 3:30 to play, but two huge injuries just kind of, like I said, cast that cloud over some things, and you know that that's on their brains, and they're worried about their friends and their teammates, and they do just want to get back on that bus and see how everybody's doing.
3:15 left to play.
So 3rd down, 9 to go. Funk, hands off. Grandstaff and pulled down.
Nice tackle.
With the run, taken down by number 10, Fialo.
Fialo made a couple great plays here in the 4th quarter.
4th and 9.
Yeah, he's been we haven't called his number much in the first half, but we certainly have in the second half.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just go for it here and don't take a chance to punt the football.
You know, it's a tough spot to punt because you're on the 30 and, you know, if it's a touchback or you're only losing 10 yards. And
you don't risk that long snap.
And kicking a field goal doesn't really do much good, and it's a long field goal. So, yeah, going for it here makes sense. This isn't like a running up the score kind of a thing at all. It's just a sensible play.
Riley Funk with 2:22 to go. High snap. And Funk keeps it, and the Red Knights will get the football back.
Yeah, with 2:13 to
Funk
play.
with the run. Tackle started by number 3, Charlie Fertolini. Turnover on downs.
So the Knights get the ball back on a turnover on downs with 2:15 to play. Getting 3 scores inside of 2 minutes is, I'll say, unlikely. But you know they would like to punch one in.
Right, looking for something positive here before they head to the locker room. And
1st and 10 from the 28 for the Red Knights.
trying to give the fans that have weathered for out here for close to 3 hours something positive to see. Back to pass. Leishau has got a lot of time. Looking, still rolling, still has time.
Oh.
And now he's going to go down. There, he should have just thrown it out of bounds.
Yeah, that was definitely what he should have done there now, because now the clock's just going to keep rolling, and there was no sense to hang on to that one. But they're going to be in a hurry-up offense here anyway.
Second 11 from the 27.
Second down 11 from the 27. We're down to 1:45. Leishau, he rolls to the far side. Now he throws downfield open, and it's caught. George Wolf, sorry. Charlie.
So that's a Red Knight first down.
George
1:30 to play.
And George has made a couple good catches here in the fourth quarter.
Yep, and had a great game defensively, as we've talked about.
First and 10 from 41.
George in his senior year. Leishau back to pass. Still plenty of time. Throws it to the near side over the outstretched arms of George.
Just missed Wolf on that one, and so now it's 1:20 left to play, 27-7. And with the incomplete pass, at least the clock stops. Crowd giving Wolf a round of applause there.
You know, and he just not happy, you know, just knowing that it's about, you know, winning and stuff. And it looks like he may be hurting a little bit too. So looks like he may have tweaked something on his foot. Thrown to the near side, intended for Woodford. And I could say that they've done a good job on Woodford.
He's yeah, they've keyed in on him well, and it's just been difficult for the Red Knights to get anything going offensively tonight, which I think is more of a kudos to the Chanhassen defense. They've just been stellar.
So we're down to 1:14 left here with the score 27-7, third down 10. The Storm scored 21 in the first half. Back to pass. Throwing across the middle of the field, player wide open, and it's caught.
And that's Woodford.
Woodford at the 22-yard line.
Get out of bounds.
He's taking about 6 more seconds off the clock, trying to just get an extra yard or so.
So that's a big play for the Red Knights, big boost, and now with 58 seconds left and the ball on, where is it, about the 25. They've got plenty of time to punch one in and at least get something positive going into the locker room.
Well, and again, I'm not sure if the Storm have all their starters in at this point of the game, but there's a run by Petty, and Petty gets down to the 10-yard line, gets out of bounds.
Forced out of bounds by number 36, Newman.
Yep, nice little run by Petty. 52 seconds left to play.
Yeah, it looks like Chanhassen has subbed quite a few of their starters out.
Which is the right thing to do for a number of reasons, but I would say one of them is got to get those kids some playing time, especially when you have so many seniors going out this year. You need to get some of those younger players in and getting some reps.
52 seconds remaining. Leishau rolls to the near side, and he beats one defender, and now he cuts back towards the end zone, and
it looked like he was in.
Touchdown.
Took a big hit in the end zone, but hits right up, and Leishau hangs onto it, improvises a little bit, and gets the Red Knights a little boost here toward the end of the game with 42 seconds left.
Really a nice run by Leishau. It looked like there was a lot of pursuit on that near sideline. There you see one defender there, then he faked out number 49 and worked his way towards the corner of the end zone.
So it's 27-13 with 42 seconds left.
Fratellone will attempt extra point. Got to get one player off the field here as Red Knights have too many men on the field.
Oof.
Another
quick botch snap, and they're going to go for two because of that and not get it, so that'll be 27-13.
Right, Jake Runman having to play quarterback there.
And that was the right move for him to do with a snap like that. There's no way they were going to get that kickoff, and so he rightly just didn't even attempt to get a hold down and just rolled out to see if he could make something happen.
27-13 now the score with 42 seconds to go, so we'll probably see an onside kick here.
Probably. So teams kind of taking their time getting out on the field here.
Right. Next opponent for the Red Knights, October 30th at Jefferson. Two road games. They play Holy Angels, and then they close off their season on November 11th against Robbinsdale Cooper here at home. 6-game schedule. First game started October 9th.
Not sure what the delay is here.
I think they want to wait till the temperature gets below 20. I think it's sitting right around 20 now. They want to get it down to 19 before this game ends.
So let's see if they go with the onside kick. They do.
That's a good kick.
That's a great kick. And
the
they got it.
Have it.
That's exactly what you want those to do, where it just kind of rolls a little bit and then hops up in the air for a jump ball. It's anybody's ball, and the Knights recover.
Okay, so hypothetically, you get a touchdown here really quick. It's 42 seconds. Throw it in the end zone, get a touchdown, then you're down by one score.
Yeah. And we
It's
get a
not
tie
over.
game. Get
Do
an
another
overtime
onside
and just
kick.
keep this thing going. Yeah, all they need now, they got the onside kick. They just need the touchdown and the extra point. Then they need another onside kick and a touchdown and an extra point.
That was a beautiful kick.
It was.
And the difference here in high school, and it used to be that way in the NFL, was that the line can start running with the kicker. In the NFL, you have to be stationary, so it makes it a lot tougher to get the onside kick in the NFL versus in high school.
That's exactly what you want those kicks to do, though, is to bounce up in the air like that right at that moment.
Leishau steps in, throws, incomplete. Intended for Woodford.
38 seconds to go now.
You know, again, the clock stops if they get that first down, if they can set up quick. That no chance for Woodford. We have some of the defensive starters have come back in the football game.
Yeah, they don't want to mess around.
Thrown to the near side, caught by Hansen, trying to get out of bounds, and Bach continues to run. The Red Knights will call a timeout.
Yeah, and he had a nice little spin move here where I think he thought he could get away, and I thought he could too, but just great hands. I mean, look at that one arm on Hansen to pull him back and take him down.
So the Red Knights will take a timeout with 27 seconds remaining, trailing by 14, 27-13 our score.
It is 3rd and 7 from the 39, 27 seconds.
3rd down, 7 yards to go.
And as we're at a timeout probably toward the end of the game here, I do want to just throw out, with everything that's gone on tonight, our hearts are just, with Pinkerton and Collins, two seniors who were out with what looked to be pretty severe injuries, especially Pinkerton taken to the hospital with an apparent neck injury. No matter how this turns out and what the score is, just our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with them, their family, their friends, teammates, after what has been a hard night for the Chanhassen football team.
Well said, Paul. I think the Red Knights have to go for the end zone here.
Yep.
Leishow steps up into the pocket, and he's going to run it. And that's going to take time off the clock.
Yep, and there's 15 ticks left. And the Red Knights take their final timeout.
Timeout taken by the Red Knights.
I think that's their final timeout. You know me and those details.
Again, the scoreboard does not show timeouts, so we're just going to, it is 4th down.
Make it 4th and 1 from the 33 with about 15 seconds left.
4th down, but really only enough time for about 2, if you're lucky, maybe 3 plays anyway.
Yeah, and I think, Leishow is just going to have to try and see if he can roll, have some time to find someone in the end zone and put a shot up. But you know that the Storm are playing prevent defense right now. You can see how many guys they have in the backfield.
Yep.
So a 3-man rush, and Leishow throws.
Look for Woodford.
End zone, it's intercepted. Nope, incomplete. Yep.
But it'll be a turnover on downs anyways. And 8 seconds left, and Chanhassen should walk out of here with a 27-13 victory.
Or limp out of here, because there's another injury.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so they'll just go in victory formation, and this game should be over here in a couple seconds. I'm not sure why the Storm are taking so long to get onto the field here. We may be bringing in a rookie backup quarterback for one snap.
Well, Funk is out there.
Yeah, it's just victory formation.
Yep. And that'll do it.
So after 2 hours and 57 minutes, we come to an end here, Paul.
Yep. And it looks like there was a flag on that play. I don't know how that's possible. But the clock has stopped.
Or they're going to wind it now.
Okay. There we go.
And that will be the game, making the final.
These referees got to get paid a little overtime tonight.
Yeah, really.
13. Thank you all for coming out on this cold night. Please drive safe.
And again, a lot of announcements from the PA speaker is, as these stands are so icy, it's just telling people to be careful as they walk out. But it's been, game that I thought would be probably, very close. But Chanhassen really impressed me, the way they played, the way that you mentioned, they won the battle on the lines, and that sometimes can make a difference. And I think it did in this game. So.
Yep, great game by Chanhassen, very well played. And again, we're thinking about Pinkerton and Collins, and I know the Knights are as well. And a tough night for the Red Knights, but a valiant effort. They never gave up, and a nice sort of greeting going on here between the two teams.
So again, we want to thank everyone who joined us for this game. Looks like we may have cut out, but or maybe you hit a chord. But on behalf of Paul Bodwin and our entire staff here from ParkTV 16, I'm Bruce Oberman. Final score 27-13 Chanhassen. Good night.